Anyway,
wait a minute.
that's just me.
You're going to tell me
That's
my
just me.
conversation I had with a couple was worse than the conversation you and the girls had last night with our daughter?
Yeah, that was what?
How to be ready for her honeymoon night and all of
It
that
was awesome.
That's not stressful?
Not at all.
Hello and welcome to a new season of the Family Business Podcast with the Alessis. Man, we are so glad to have you join us, Mary.
Yes, we are.
It's a new season.
It's a new season.
Season 8.
Season 8.
Man.
I can't believe we have this much to talk about.
There is a lot to talk about.
And it just keeps piling up with more conversation to have.
Well, the good thing is we like something fresh. We want to do something new. There's new information out there, new events that are happening that we have to respond to. Plus, there's new seasons of our own life that we'll talk a little bit about today. But we're glad that you're joining us. And we want to thank you for staying with us. Listen, we are over 200 episodes strong.
That's amazing.
Season number 8. That is amazing. And it's amazing because what we hear is that the average podcast only tapes like 7 episodes. If they do 20 or more, they're like in the top percentile.
Yeah.
So that's pretty crazy. We're over 200. And according to YouTube numbers, we have just learned more or less that we are closing in on 1 million views of our YouTube channel with the Alessi Family Business.
Thank you to our audience for that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you,
and
guys.
If you're enjoying it, please, here's 2 things you can do. Keep sharing what we're talking about in our show with other people, because we got our kids are going to be a lot more involved. Our adult kids are going to be a lot more involved in this season 8 because they are experiencing the whole family business dynamic. So it's really cool there. But also, look, we'd like to keep you informed even more. And if you'd like to find out more information, then we can get you in our newsletter, and you can find it at alessifamilybusiness.com/newsletter. That's a alessifamilybusiness.com/newsletter.
There it is.
Can you read it?
Can you see it?
I couldn't.
Wow,
that
that's some
little
big
tiny
letters.
print right there. My glasses definitely need to be upgraded.
Well, it has been 8 seasons. It's been a while.
Thank you very much. Well, we'd love to go ahead and have you join us even more and share this with others. You got a great story to tell about somebody who actually comes to the church as a result.
Yeah.
And what was that about?
Well, this Sunday or recently, we had someone that went through our STEPS program, which is our growth track. And when they came off the stage, I went to greet them to say, welcome, and I didn't really know them, but they said, first words out of her mouth were, I have not missed 1 episode of the Alessi Family Business Podcast. As a matter of fact, she said, I have gone back and listened to every single one, and it's changed my life. Thank you. And it just stopped me in my tracks because I know people listen to it. We see the numbers, but it's really a wonderful thing to meet and greet somebody that the first words out of their mouth when you meet them is to say, thank you for the podcast and how much it's changed their life. And that they listen to all 200 episodes.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible. So thank you to those of you who are making our podcast such a wonderful success. And it's hopefully and prayerfully helping you in your home, in your family, in your marriage, in your parenting, and even just dealing with some of the crises that are going on in the world today. Because in 8 seasons, it'd be interesting to go back and just do like an abbreviated version to see a synopsis of what has happened in our world since we started this podcast. I don't think I want to either. I changed my mind.
I was looking at some of the old podcasts that we had on, and man, am I glad that hairstyle has changed. I lost a little more weight. Thank God. Some of those old podcasts, shows how well we're getting better.
We're getting better.
Our podcasts are getting better. We're getting better. We're looking better.
And there's even more to talk about now than there were 8 seasons ago.
Yeah. Well, let me get some shout outs right here. Big thank yous. I want to thank AP. He's right here. Alan Paul. He helps us get all of this done. Ashley is behind the keyboard back there, or the soundboard. She is helping us with all the recording. John Roman is helping us make sure equipment is being updated, and we've got some new things in the studio. Thanks to also a George Bernal.
Yeah.
George, you know who you are. Thank you. Part of what we do here at our church on Sundays, and you've given us the Midas touch. You've come in
Right.
and helped us just design and help us get the facility looking even better. So thank you, all of you, for making it happen. And of course, our audience for enjoying this information that we're able to put out there. We want to answer questions people are asking.
Yeah.
We really do. And try to stay, at least from our perspective, Mary, when we talk as a family, try to stay as transparent
Right.
and real as possible. We may not always get it right with our views and our opinions, but it's working for us.
Yeah.
We may not always have an opinion that the audience is going to agree with, and that's
Sure.
all right.
It's okay.
Hey, our church family's like that. Not everybody who comes
Right.
through our church doors are robots, just
Right.
saluting us. Yes, I
Yeah.
like that. I'll take it. I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
obey it. Whatever.
Right.
They don't follow that lead. So everybody's got their own views, own opinions. That doesn't make us insecure one bit.
No.
We like that you can share those values and views as long as, and our goal is always this, as long as what we're doing, our values, our morals, they're backed by biblical principles
Yeah.
that we found are just a real strong foundation
Yeah.
that we've been able to build our lives on.
And hopefully what our conversations do for people that are listening and are like-minded, it brings them a sense of peace and order to the chaos.
Mm.
Because that's something that we search to do, is find peace and find
Yep.
order with all that's going on. And not just in the world, but even in the family.
Mhm.
How do you bring a sense of peace? We've lived a long time. We've been through a lot. We've seen a lot. Something else that's been interesting is that our long play version has actually done better than our 30-minute segments. So
Mhm.
we're going to stay with that because I think there's just so much to say about different subjects. And when we rush it, we don't really get into that relaxed state of really talking
Yeah.
and sharing
You're
from our
right.
heart. So that's been a very interesting turn of events to see
Mhm.
our numbers dramatically climb
Yeah.
with the longer podcast play.
Okay, so let's get into it, because the
Let's do
one
it.
thing I don't like about podcasts is
It's
it takes so
too long of
long to get to
introductions.
the
No, you're
subject
right.
matter,
It's
but we
very
had a
true.
lot to take care of. All right, so here's where we want to go today. It's a new season, not just for the podcast, but for our lives. Okay, so I've been struggling with two big changes that have come up. I'm facing in my life.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be 65 in November.
Yes, you are.
Right. So two things are showing me my age.
Okay.
And it's not my hair, because thankfully I got a new do. But the first is, you know, I'm a Medicare recipient now.
Ouch.
Doggone it, Mary. I had to sign up for Medicare.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's terrible. So I feel kind of ancient. I feel kind of old. And I just got the card in the mail, having to
Yeah.
make sure we do it all the right way. And if you haven't signed up and you're up 65, you're right there. You need to go ahead and check your insurance. All that kind of stuff is going on. And there's a lot of hoops to jump through. So
Right.
this segment is come to you by Medicare. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. I hate that because I definitely feel old. And in order to be on Medicare, oh no, I had to sign up, and I brought you in with me as a co-member to AARP.
Seriously?
Yes. I have been getting information about it for years. I'm like, I'm not old enough yet. And now all of a sudden I'm old enough.
Wait a minute. Are there discounts?
Yeah,
Is there
2 for 1
savings?
right now. So you
I'm good with it.
you're a part of the membership.
Let's
so even though
go.
you're not in your 60s,
Save some money, AARP.
you're
Woot.
there. So we may be able to get your 4% discount at the hotel. Okay. So that's the first thing that's making me feel kind of old. The second thing is this, and this is where I'd like our conversation to go. We're marrying off our
Our youngest daughter.
child, our daughter Gabby.
Yeah.
Now that's a big shocker. Yes, we have one more that is like in the wings,
Mm-hmm.
but this coming Friday, and I'll date this
This episode. Yeah.
we're going to marry off our youngest daughter.
Yeah.
Now, she's 25.
Yeah.
And I don't feel old by her age, because she's 25. But the fact that she's leaving us,
Yeah.
now I'm feeling old.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, our baby daughter is going to be gone.
I know.
And by the way, I got a message I'm going to speak about.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I got it from a country song, and it goes in with this whole theme.
Okay.
And that is, there's no such thing as goodbye.
Oh, stop. Oh,
There's
why did you do
nothing
that?
good about saying bye,
Ah, ah,
right?
why did you do that? Okay. All right. Let me recollect myself. These country music artists that write songs like that, good Lord.
Yep.
There's nothing good about
Yep.
bye. See, who even, all my life,
Yeah, I
all my
know.
life,
I know.
I've written songs. I never saw that, never put that together.
Now you're listening to the wrong kind of music. You got to go
I
country.
can't listen to country music. I'd be a mess every single day.
So she's gone.
But here's the funny thing. She's going to live 1 mile. We could walk to her house, and he's the baby. Christian's the baby of his family too, and they could walk to his house. So they're not going far.
No, but
But
they
it
are
is
gone. They're out of the house. So leading up to these times in our life, that's a message I'm actually going to be sharing this Sunday after
I won't be
the
coming to
wedding.
church on
I know.
Sunday.
I know.
I'm going to stay home.
I know. It's
I will
horrible.
not be at church.
Yeah.
You know what it is though? It's like happy tears and it's joyful tears. Can we stop and start over? I'm kidding. But it's also just the season that we know it introduces us to.
What's that season?
Well, it's those years that raising your kids is behind you.
We're trying to catch our breath. Yeah, I know, babe.
And here's the thing. We're good parents. And it's been amazing to raise our kids. And it's been an awesome season to raise them not only in the ways that they should go, but also in kind of the antithesis of some of our growing up years.
Right.
And making sure, okay, I'm getting it together. I just needed that little
Come on,
thank
AP,
you, Alan.
hurry. So much for that makeup.
I'm telling you, thank God for those just listening
Right.
and those not watching. But actually, it's such a weird emotion.
Right.
Because it's not sad and it's not totally like an elation. It's this weird mix of the next season is upon us. And I don't know. I don't know that
Nope.
if there's a word to describe the emotion, but
It's definitely mixed.
it's mixed.
It's a mixed emotion. Now, here's the problem with our whole theme of, family
Yeah.
and us working together. And then our church being so relational focused. Everything is about relationship.
Yeah.
And that is, if I have one core value, it really is that one core value.
Right.
Understanding that because of the focus of relationship, we put such an emphasis on it, how to create good ones.
Yeah.
And to keep the family together. That's the first priority. Then keep, friends that have been in our lives for so long, keep them all together. Then when there's a moment in the relationship where there is a change, where you're not as together as you once
Right.
were.
Yeah.
So as a family, one of our kids, if they're ever given an opportunity to take a job elsewhere, or they're married to a spouse about taking, having to move for a job or for work or for an opportunity, that's where that whole dynamic shifts and changes.
Right.
And it's not bad, because people do it all the time.
Sure.
kids move away from home. I mean, we took ours to college. You know,
Yeah.
they all pretty much studied here. Chris went for a year of college away. Stephanie went for an internship in Houston at Osteen's Lakewood Church. Lauren spent a season
In
of a
Hawaii.
semester
Yeah.
in Hawaii. You know, we understand those temporary adjustments and moves that people have to make because you then separate from that relational
Right.
thing that's
Right.
constant.
Right.
But when the focus is always relationship, when these next seasons come and you have to say, all right, now we have to adjust because you're not in the home anymore. You're not coming down to kiss me in the morning.
I know. I know. That's the hard part. The
Those are the little
changes.
adjustments.
Yeah. Well, the things that you're used to, like putting your shoes on, getting dressed, your routine, your children are part of your routine. And so, here's the thing. They're feeling it too. They're feeling it too because now they're embarking on this new world where mom and dad aren't their covering. Mom and dad aren't the first thing they see in the morning. Mom and dad aren't their pressure anymore. Life becomes their pressure. It's not us. It's bills and it's babies and it's expectations and it's one another. So, it's that new season of life. And I think with the older two, when they started getting married, I felt it with Stephanie more than I felt it with Chris, because with your son, it's like, get out there and make a way for yourself. You're proud. But man, I missed him too in a lot of ways. But the beautiful thing is somehow you transition to that new season and it becomes the new norm, and how quickly you forget about the way it used to feel. You know what I mean? It's just that getting through the transition of it being, this is the end of one season into the next. That transition is hard. And I don't think we're normal if we don't let ourselves feel it all. I don't think it's good for us
Right.
to just put a smile on and get busy and get through it. I think it's healthy
Right.
to stop. As a matter of fact, this morning, Stephanie sent me a long text. Mom, you need to let yourself feel it all. You need
Right.
to talk to your sister. You need to talk. And I appreciate it because she's standing at a different place, looking at me, seeing that I'm a little bit scattered and it's emotional. And I appreciated that where she's at, now she's married almost 5 years. She's got 2 kids and she's looking at it now from a different vantage point. It's a healthy perspective to look at her mom and go, Mom, let yourself go. Cry if you need to. Don't try to be everything to everybody, and take some time for yourself. It's okay. And I just appreciated that. I thanked her for that because, it is a lot to process, and
Right.
we all process differently.
Right.
So Gabby's processing differently. Lauren, who's still in the house, is processing differently. We're all just a big mixed bag of all these emotions.
Right.
And if we're not careful, we can see them as unhealthy versus it's healthy
Right.
and turn on one another.
Right.
And that's what we don't want to do.
Well, I woke up Monday and before I was woken a little earlier than I wanted to. And before I got out of bed, I did pray. And I prayed for our family. I prayed for Christian and Gabby as they prepare this week. I said, my prayer was like, let us just all peacefully embrace it.
Yeah.
Because we want the season to be so fun. We want the week of the wedding to be celebrated. We've done hundreds of weddings over the many years in our line of work. And we know some of the worst weeks are the week of the
Oh,
wedding, which is why we have
yes.
our wedding rehearsal
Yep.
about 4 days prior to the wedding,
That's
so
right.
that whatever we need to adjust, we don't have to do it the day before or the day of. We got a couple days in between. The
Yeah.
goal ultimately is to make sure this week is enjoyed. So my prayer was, you know, help us get a grip on it this week. Help Gabby and Christian feel the moment without feeling the pressure so
Yeah.
much. There is a lot of pressure to make sure the wedding is done right. And our daughter and Christian have done a phenomenal job of organizing
Yes, they
this
have.
deal. And I was super proud of our daughter because she said to me yesterday or even Saturday, I was making some adjustments at the reception. And she says, Dad, this is why I did all the work prior, so
That's
that
right.
if you threw me a curveball, we had to make last minute adjustments. I can handle
That's
that
right.
without the stress and the anxiety. of all the other things that we had to organize. So she's done a phenomenal job. So my prayer was let us go through it peacefully, without any family drama, which usually occurs
Right.
around a wedding, and there's always somebody in the family that's taking the attention off of the bride and the groom, if it's not the bride and the groom. And thankfully, we don't have a bridezilla. So
No, but
that
it's
was the
true.
prayer that
Yeah.
we could address this, attack it in the right way, and do it without the stress and the anxiety. Don't let it show on us.
Well, listen, I don't think there's anything more stressful than a wedding, moving. We know there's like 5 things that they tell you that add so much stress on top of your already stressful life, and weddings can do that. Even the best unions.
What are those? So get it. Death was one of them, of
Death,
course.
definitely.
Divorce is one
Divorce
of
is
them.
another one. Marriage,
Marriage,
weddings, moving,
moving.
and there's one more.
Well, think
Remember there
about
was
this. I think it
5.
was a job,
Babies.
something with a career
Oh,
change.
career changes.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
major stress
Yes.
inducers that just
Yes.
deplete you
Right.
of the chemicals that's needed to cope, right?
Absolutely.
So think of this young couple. They're not only
Mhm.
getting married, they're moving.
Right.
And their moving is they had bought a house, and
Yep.
we're all working together to help
Fix it
now
up.
remodel the
Yeah.
whole home.
Yeah.
We gutted it. Now we're remodeling it. This couple's having to
Do 2
juggle.
things that deplete their adrenal glands.
And then they're supposed to go and honeymoon
It's
after
tough.
it's all over.
It's tough.
So that's where I was thinking, if there's any struggle, anything that would cause to be, any strife, anything that would cause strife, let's just deal with it when they get back
Right.
in town.
Right.
Because there's a whole lot of stuff that's going to wait for them. Life's going to be waiting for them after the little honeymoon that they're going to be taking together. So they'll get back, and then we can get ticked at them and yell at them for
That's
not doing
exactly.
something, But right
Wait
now,
for them to get home to
we're going to do it.
beat 'em
Now,
up.
I did notice this because I want to be self-aware. I did notice that you didn't like me playing with my shoelace.
You're playing with his shoelace.
I did notice that I would be under a certain level of stress. So I was like, Lord, help me. Because I just want to be aware
Yeah.
of what may tick me off,
Yeah.
what may set me off, what may
Trigger.
trigger, whatever that looks like, Let
Mhm.
me be aware. Is it going to be an unexpected bill that all of a sudden pops up?
Right.
Is it going to be a family member, that shows up that whatever? Is it going to be a delay in somebody's travel plans and we're going to have to shift and so on and so forth? I wanted to make sure I was being prepared so I wouldn't take the attention off of the couple or put more stress on the couple.
Yeah.
So we're day 2. How are we doing?
I think
How am
we're doing
doing?
great.
Am I right?
I think you're doing really good. The
You sure?
conversation last night was probably heavy, but it worked out good.
Yeah, it was about budget,
It was about money.
money.
Man, that should be number 6. Talking about money is stressful. So stressful.
Again, well, look at this couple. They're trying to. We got a lot of money out there with the wedding
Yeah.
going on. How much does that cost, right? And then they got a house they're building, and so
Yeah.
they got to make sure that now they're coming to their honeymoon. Where's the money from the honeymoon coming? I mean, they just went out and bought their bands on their, for her engagement ring, got her band, and he got his. So we're looking at their money and making sure they're gonna.
Only you would say at 10:00 at night, 4 days before the wedding, let's sit down and be realistic about
So
money and get
that
terrified.
was one of those missteps.
Probably. Probably. Actually, they
Hey, I was telling them, do you got your money set up for an offering? Don't
I
forget,
know. I know.
the Lord's
I know.
good to
And
you.
they
Now you bring an
listen.
offering.
Listen, they respond to it so well.
As we were watching the Dolphin game, we all kept looking over our shoulder. Oh, we scored. Cool. So it wasn't that heavy.
Okay.
Good.
No. Being realistic is also important, and being aware and being guarded. But 4 days before the wedding. Anyway,
Wait a minute.
that's just me.
You're going to tell me
That's
my
just me.
conversation I had with the couple was worse than the conversation you and the girls had last night with our daughter?
Yeah. That was what?
How to be ready for her honeymoon night and all of
It
that
was
stuff.
awesome.
That's not stressful?
Not at all. How is that
talking sex and all that to a virgin?
compared
Hello.
to money?
I think money is
Hey,
the
listen,
easy.
listen. If it's stressful to talk about that, it's only on her. Now the money, they're both stressed.
Oh,
See,
okay.
you're just trying to divert. I know you.
Oh my. All right.
Well,
So
they can handle it. You know what
how about
noticed about them? Hold on a second. I
yeah.
want to say this. These moments of pressure really show you what you're made of. They really, really do. And some people are built for pressure, some people aren't, and you don't know until you're tested, until you feel pressure. So, as parents, we still maintain our role as parents. And the times that I hated when my mom and my stepfather would put pressure on us, or your mom and your dad would put pressure on us. And in the moment I hated it, I always rallied because I knew they were right. And I would want for us to kind of raise to the level of their expectation. It made us who we are today.
Mm-hmm.
And there are days, Steve, I miss that.
Yeah.
Because it just, you had a ceiling that you were always trying to please. Here I go. I'm going to start crying again.
Yeah.
Change the subject.
Yeah.
But it's good for them. It's good for young people to understand that life is full of pressure. How are you going to manage pressure? It's just pressure. It's not anxiety. It's not depression. It's not stress. You aren't doing it wrong if you feel pressured. As a matter of fact, you're doing it right. And pressure shows you're doing things at a high level.
Mm-hmm.
Because pressure creates diamonds.
Diamonds. Mm-hmm.
Pressure creates beautiful things. And if the next generation is trying to run from pressure, well, don't get married. Stay in your little 9 to 5 and don't ask or want anything more than what you have right now.
Right.
Because what will create all of those things that are beautiful, that at the end of it, you look back over in your life and you go, man, look at what I've accomplished. Look at what we've been able to do together. Just know each and every moment and each and every season or experience that you walk through will be filled with pressure, which will lead to conflict, but you'll fight together and you'll make a beautiful life with a lot to show for it.
Yeah.
So that's my little mini sermonette right there.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Here's the real important question, though. This is
Yes.
heavy, man. How's your dress going to look on you?
Beautiful. Are you
got a
talking about
good one.
the fact that we ate pizza last night?
No.
Just so you know, I didn't eat it.
How's it going to look? You
Beautiful.
feel good about
I
your
feel-
selection?
I feel great in
Who
my dress.
helped you with that one?
Brides of Florida.
Brides of Florida.
Thank you so much to Brides of Florida, Mackie and Ben and Priscilla, who
Yeah.
own that place. And they said, come, and they blessed me and Maria, which is Christian's mom,
Yeah.
with the most beautiful dresses. And no, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
We're
They
gonna-
also provided Gabby's
wedding dress.
wedding
Oh,
dress.
she's stunning.
As they did Stephanie's
So-
and Rochelle.
All right. So guess what? That
Mm.
takes a lot of the pressure off.
Huge.
So along the way, when you have pressure situations, God blesses you with things that just take the pressure out just a
Yeah.
little bit. And they definitely did that.
They did.
They
The
helped
good
financially to
people
help
do
take
that.
it. Yes.
And they celebrated it. It was so sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
so much so. And little
Yeah.
Gianna, she's 3, and she went with us and just ran up and down that little catwalk
Yeah.
in front of the mirror and tried on dresses too. She's so cute.
Yeah. What a memory. Well, good thing is I had a tux a few years ago for Christopher's wedding. I had the tux made. And I mean, all these years I've been in tuxedos doing weddings and things. I never had a tux made just for me. So finally got it done. A guy helped me out, talking about a financial blessing as well. So I went to put it back on a few weeks ago, and it's super big. Jeepers.
Look at you. Look at you,
So
Slim.
So all that's done. I got my tux size, the jacket. The pants are pretty much the same, but the jacket
Good.
size. So I'm ready to go.
Let's
I'll
go.
pull out those patent leather shoes and should look good.
Yeah.
And the nice black tie.
You always look good in those.
Christian's going to be in white.
He's going to look great.
He's going to look great. Nice black tie. He's going to look sharp, and he's so stinking tall and handsome.
So handsome.
They're going to look, dynamic.
It's going to be a beautiful day. Can I just say, though, the more we cry now, the better off it's going to be. Because that day, my fake eyelashes, I do not want caterpillars on my cheeks.
Oh
I'm
my
kidding.
God.
It is not happening.
Yeah.
I am just going to cry now
So
because they're happy tears.
I'm glad you bring up that because last Tuesday, was it, that they were all at the house? Gabby did a run through with her hair and makeup. That was
Yeah,
cool.
that was great.
We're all right there
Yeah,
celebrating it. Brought the young lady in to help with her
that's
hair,
right.
and
Just
she
to avoid the
yeah,
chaos on the wedding day.
and the wedding week. It was
No
cool she did it
surprises.
before. Grandmommy was there to be a part of that,
Yeah,
and the grandkids were there walking around looking at all of that. It was fun.
it was.
That's how you can enjoy that whole pre-wedding thing without it just being a night, an event. You just spread it out over a few weeks.
And it's smart to do that because the wedding goes by so fast. The whole season goes it's like you're planning for a year and then all of a sudden it's over. Like what happened to the last week of the wedding? So that's why we did what we did last night with some of our close friends. We brought Gabby in the room. We had a few snacks and we said, "Let's just talk. What are your greatest fears? Let's just share." And it was so sweet. We said 1 hour, it turned out to be 2 hours, and
Mm,
it was such a sweet time and she cried and we cried, and it just lets a little bit of the air out of the balloon. I would strongly encourage all you moms out there who are marrying off your daughters, have those moments. You take the lead. You know what I've learned with Rochelle being married and then Stephanie and now Gabby and Lauren will be right behind them is if we don't take the lead as moms, then some of these beautiful moments that could help so much won't happen. And we don't know that we should take the
yeah,
lead in these moments. And so
yeah,
I just want to share that little tip before before the day gets going, before the week gets away from you, even 2 weeks out, whatever. Take a night at your house. Don't make it a fussy event. Just have everybody over with coffee and pastry and just sit with the bride, the girls that matter, the people. Yes, she's going to have her bachelorette, but we don't go to those
right,
as moms.
right.
And there's a lot I want to share with my daughter.
Hmm.
There's emotions I want her to see that I'm having
Right.
about her,
Yeah.
and do that. When I left last night, I thought, pro tip, pro mom tip. Let's do that for our daughters, where we have a moment that we're helping them just process
Hmm.
for a little while.
Very good.
It's important.
I like that. I think that's important. You may want to.
What's
There
wrong with
you
my hair?
go. There you
Well,
go.
everybody that is
All right.
watching,
So here's a
listening,
deal.
can't see.
Let's
Go
get
ahead.
into this subject
Okay.
because we've talked about in a number of episodes ago, maybe a couple seasons ago, the leave and cleave thing. And it's a matter of leave and cleave or leave and grieve, you know.
Yeah.
Um, what does that look like to us at this season of life with this couple
Mm.
going forth, walking, away into their new life and so forth? What are we? How are we tackling that this time?
Mm. Well, I think we've learned a lot with Christopher getting married and Stephanie getting married, and the healthy side of we're always there as a covering, as well as his mom and dad. We're very blessed because we have his wonderful family that we've been friends with for many, many years. But, for you and I think the leaving and cleaving it just continues that scripture verse that says, raise them up in the way that they should go. And that is um, letting them fly and be free without restraint, without our feeling like we're always either criticizing or feeling like we have to implement our advice, but we're here for it. We're here as counselors, we're there as participants for whatever they need, but also making sure that they're smart enough to surround themselves with young couples that can help them throughout the seasons of their life, like we had, which was a blessing. How do you see that leaving and cleaving?
Yeah, I see this as it's a scriptural principle
Mm-hmm.
that the scripture does tell us that when a man leaves his mother and father's house and a woman leaves her home, that the two of them cleave.
Yeah.
They become one. And that is a principle that we see allows couples to go back to what the experience was in the Garden of Eden when God looked at Adam and said, it's not good that he's alone. He made him a helpmeet. So the two were one to complete one another, as of course, not to compete with one another, but to complete
Right.
one another. So that's where that whole scriptural principle comes from.
Yeah.
Now, how does that play out? Because what some may think is, um, that when they leave the home, that's it. There's no more connection to the home base, no more connection to the father and the mother whatsoever. And then they just go on to build their own lives.
Right.
And part of that is true because it's on the couple now
Yeah.
to start this fresh new
With
life,
their family. Yeah.
to build their legacy, their name and their legacy and so forth. The side that they also need to remember is that in the leaving, there's not the losing
Yeah.
of where you've come from.
Right.
There's not totally walking away. Like now you've got to begin again.
Yeah.
So to get a fresh start as a couple, to have a new beginning does not mean that you now have to begin again all by
No,
yourself.
that's right.
That hampers, that hurts a young couple when they have the support and the experience and the wisdom of parents that have already built a platform
Yeah.
upon which to now build your life on. In our case, we're second generation of the family unit of building the name and so forth. Um, and then now we see our kids doing this. What they should be able to do is build off of our platform to go even higher. The only way to get that done is to remain in that covering and support that is in place. So when I hear of the Leave and Cleave that we know couples are needing, what that says to me is look to one another now
Yeah.
for your support, for your love, for your affection. If a young girl has been mothered or too daddied, too fathered,
Yeah. Yeah.
she can't go back and look for that affection from her parents.
Right.
Parents is always going to give that to her, but she can't go and look for that as her soul.
Mm-mm.
It's
No,
on the husband's
that's it.
role now. It's on
That's right.
his shoulders
That's
to
right.
make
It's his
sure
responsibility.
he's providing that for her.
That's right.
And if the son, or now the groom, the husband, has been used to being overly parented, provided for financially. No, now there's a shift. Now it's on you.
That's right.
Now you start this, okay, I've got to be the provider of my household.
That's right.
I can't go back to dad and mom
No.
to pay my bills.
Mm-mm.
My future with my wife is going to depend on my ability to now be the provider.
That's right.
And now where my affections are from my parents to be the pat on the back to go forth. Now let me go conquer this world. Now I don't get it from them. I get it from my wife.
Right. Right.
And so the Leave and Cleave is starting and stepping into this new season of your life, but with the momentum of your family and your upbringing helping you go forward.
It's good.
Now, it doesn't mean you now walk away and say, I have no other ties with you. I'm doing my
No.
own thing. And, hey, it's been great. And now saying it's all on me. Well, to a certain extent it is. But then to the other extent, it's like, wait, take advantage of the covering
That's it.
and the platform and the legacy and the foundation and
Right.
stay close to that
Yeah.
because that's going to bless you in the future.
It will.
It's going to help you build even more in the future.
And you're honoring where you've come from, so you'll be blessed where you're going.
Yeah.
And I was getting a picture in my mind when you're talking that it's like there's an emotional placenta that some young people still have attached to their parents, even some young couples living with their parents. It gets one-sided. That can happen, and you can do that if you live in a city like Miami and it's tough and whatever. But be mindful that you might be living with your parents right now as a married couple, but you need to develop individuality as a couple and independence to make your own way. And it's not to make that sharp turn and to cut the placenta off doesn't mean now you're having to make a decision. Do I honor and love my parents? No, you leave and cleave, the Bible tells you to your spouse, but your family's always there as that added support from where you've come from that will always be there for you in times of crisis. But you make your own way, and you have to cut that cord from your family. But it's emotional. It's where you now know you can't just glean from mom and dad, or mom if you have a single mom, or dad if you have a single dad, because that's where it can really get one-sided and become very dysfunctional. And we see that. We see that today. But independence as a couple is the lifeblood of your marriage. But that doesn't mean that if your family is still in your life and they want to bless you and they're there and they're giving that oversight, that you can't have both. And I'll give you an example. You come from a very strong Italian family. Your dad was very much about the family. And you said it for years, your dad's voice. I just read it in your forward yesterday. We did the audiobook, and how your dad's voice was always in your head. And that can be good and bad, but that's not your dad's fault. That's where you had to control and say, my dad's voice is always in my head. I want to make sure I'm honoring my dad, but I've got to make decisions for me and Mary.
Right.
I couldn't make you do that. That wasn't on your dad to do. That was a self-control that you had to exercise. Now, we still took your dad and mom's advice. And I'm so grateful we did, because when it came to houses, when it came to investments, when it came to even pastoring and loving people, they were the people we went to. Now, when it came to loaning us money, they certainly didn't shortcut us. They didn't make it easy. And I look back on that and I'm so grateful. But what could have been toxic was in our hands not to allow that to be overbearing, or where we were too leaned into your mom and dad, where they became a crutch for us.
Yeah.
We did not let that happen, but we didn't dishonor either by leaving and cleaving, because you say it all the time. If you honor God, you'll honor man.
Yeah.
You honor God first, and then you'll honor man. So that's, even with our own kids, when it can be difficult, because man, in our selfishness, we love to keep all our kids close.
Yeah.
But we know we have to launch.
Yeah.
We know we have to let go. And in the very beginning stages, it might feel like we've backed way off. And what's going on with mom and dad? Well, there's wisdom in that, because we have to distance ourselves from our daughters, especially,
Yeah.
and our son too, so that they feel that vacancy and their spouse fills it.
Yeah.
Because that's important. We can't, it's hard on us too, to create that space. But we know, in order for our kids to have healthy marriages, and those first few years are so important.
So important.
So much damage. We go back and listen to our episodes, guys. We talk about this a lot in the first year of marriage and how to handle it.
Right.
Moms and dads and the kids getting married. We've dealt with all of that on these podcasts. Go back and listen. But today we're talking about our own personal walk and how we are navigating it in real time with all of our emotions, and what we lean on, the truths that we lean on, and what we practice to get our daughter through and down the aisle.
I remember when Bud came into the family, your mom's husband. He came into the family, and we were already married, you and I, for a period of time. So it was kind of weird, because we're now the married ones, as was your sisters, and now this is a new wedding that your mom has. So she brings Bud into her life and our family. And Bud was a very successful businessman. So when it came time then for us, now he would give advice to me about working with my dad, because the reason he was a Bud was because his father was Bud Senior, he was Bud Junior. So he had a problem with the Bud Junior thing.
He hated
so then
it.
he looked at me working for my dad.
Sure.
And he was kind of trying to help me with something that he dealt with being a junior.
Yeah, I remember that.
But I wasn't dealing with
You
it.
didn't see yourself as a junior.
I never was. And I didn't have those struggles.
No.
And my dad didn't treat me the way his dad treated him.
Right.
But Bud didn't know that. Bud just gave me his opinion. And I was like, And I'd even say to you, Mary, I'm kind of tired of his advice and stuff. And I had to be very careful not to say anything to combat his comments and so forth. And it just became really a matter of, that's Bud's opinion, but this is what I have.
Sure.
But I still would listen.
Mm.
I would listen because maybe he brought a different perspective
Yeah.
than me as the man over my family
You were always good
had.
like that.
Okay.
Yep.
So I had to.
Yeah.
But let me tell you another reason why I had to. Because when I needed a loan,
Well,
guess
there's
who I
that
went
too.
to?
You're right.
I went to Bud.
Yeah.
When we sold our house after Hurricane Andrew and we found another one, I needed about $25,000. And I went to Bud and I said, Bud, would you loan me the money? He said, sure, I'll loan you the money. And this is the interest rate that I'm going to charge you. Well, I thought, okay, no problem. We'll get that money, but I'll be able to negotiate later the interest rate. Bud held my feet to the
Yes, he
fire.
did.
I had to pay every
Yes.
penny
Yes.
of the loan plus the interest
Plus
that he
the
charged
interest.
me. And he used to say, Steve, ain't no free lunches.
Yeah. His
So,
favorite
hey,
saying.
if you didn't want to pay the interest rate,
That's right.
you should have negotiated on the front end. Maybe we could have done something, but you signed a document, son.
That's right.
So you pay me my money. So I had to. Now, how hypocritical would it be of me to go to Bud and say, Bud, I don't want your advice, but I want your money.
Right.
Oh, and we're family, by the way.
Right.
That would be very hypocritical. Yeah. So here's the point. I could leave mom and dad and older people to go cleave to you.
Yeah.
And say, guys, hey, this is my world now. You don't have a right to give me any kind of input. Don't ask anything from me to honor the family legacy or anything. I'm going to do my own thing. Well, if I'm going to do that, then don't go back and ask Bud for money.
No, that's right.
And that played out because every big step I took for our family required financial assistance.
That's right.
From my dad and from Bud at different seasons.
That's right.
I had to pay them back.
That's
and
right.
pay them back interest.
That's right.
But I just needed a hand up from them to help me along the way. And if I was willing to do that, then I couldn't run around acting as though I'm just my own man.
No.
Because I was my own man to a certain degree, but I needed other men like them, fathers, to help me get to where I needed to be. So that's why I think some people that have the mentality that, listen, I'm leaving and cleaving and, middle finger up to all of you who helped me get here because now I'm my own man. I think what you're setting yourself up for is leaving and grieving.
Yeah.
Later, you're going to wish
really
you would have been more honoring of the people that have helped you get to where you are. It's going to help you go forward if you are honorable to your parents who still want to speak into you.
Yeah.
And you're honorable to your in-laws that still want to speak into you.
Right.
And that goes for both the husband and the wife, the bride and the groom. Because you most likely, if you're young, your mom has helped you become the woman or the young man that you are. And if she's 20, 30 years ahead of you, stay connected to that advice because she's going to help you get to be the older, more mature person later in life. Right. And the husband has to be willing to say along the way, honey, I'm good with that.
Right.
I'm good with your mom still giving you counsel and input and not be jealous or threatened by it or not be threatened by the father or the father-in-law. You can't be threatened by that advice all because you're saying, but I got to leave and cleave.
Yeah.
No, you always want to honor. You always want to keep an eye looking back over your shoulder and know, as they say sometimes in the movies, know where you come from and honor and respect where you come from.
That's right.
Because it's going to help you in the future. Now, is it an adjustment? Heck yeah.
It's an adjustment. And this is the last thing I want to say about this part. And I've learned this from you, that one of the greatest characteristics you can have or attributes as a person, as a human being, to deal with family, to deal with advice, to deal with opinions, to deal with having to buy, get money from somebody, borrow money from somebody, is to have a personality or a mindset that knows how to eat the meat and spit out the bones. And you've always been so good like that, which has shown wisdom beyond your years. Your years have caught up with you. However, You had that wisdom when we were younger, when we first got married. You could throw things off that your dad would say that would make me think he's trying to control us. But you were so good about not taking those things seriously. And you'd eat the meat and spit out the bones. And I followed that lead because I trusted you. And I look back over the landscape of our marriage and I think we wouldn't be where we are without
Mm-mm.
God, without you.
Mhm.
We would not. It's
Mhm.
not up to me. We would not be if it wasn't for you. But you always honored your dad. And the stuff he would say that if people knew, sometimes the way he would get triggered and I would just go, it's not worth it, Steve. It's not worth it, Steve. Don't ask him for another thing. You had that learned skill, and I think it was your heart to say, it is what it is. We will always respect Mary. I can't ask for him to help us and not deal with this other little conflicting side. It's not control. It's just emotion on my dad's part.
Yeah.
And you would eat the meat and spit out the bones.
Mm.
And I am today so grateful that you had that attribute.
Oh.
Because if you didn't, this emotional girl
Right.
would be like, I don't want any of it.
Yeah.
Who are you to tell me? But that's a mistake.
Well, I'm grateful, since you're giving out compliments, let me throw one back at you. I'm grateful that you didn't allow the broken relationship that you had with your dad, sad
Yeah.
to say, come and spill over and be brought into our marriage. And it starts to show itself, that anger towards dad, disappointment, all of that towards him would manifest towards me or towards my dad or towards Bud or to any
No.
other man that along the way has helped get us to where we are.
That's right.
Everybody needs somebody to help to get them where they are. Now, I would just say, and this was a learned deal, all right? Since you made reference to the way of eating the meat, spitting out the bones. It was learned.
Right.
Honor was learned.
Sure.
And over the years, I just learned. I didn't get it right at the beginning,
Yeah.
but along the way, I just learned honor is going to get me more in life
That's right.
than any money's going to get me,
Oh,
any
man.
gifting or
It's the
talent.
truth.
It's going to be honor,
It's the truth.
which is why even now, and honor goes both ways in the sense that it goes back to people who has helped us, but it's also going forward to this young man that's going to come into our family
Right.
now, and young Christian.
Right.
I'm going to honor that young man.
That's right. Because it goes both ways. Justice doesn't go up.
No, it doesn't.
No,
It
that's
doesn't
right.
go back to people who helped us get here.
Yeah.
I need to honor him to
Forward.
help him get to where he needs to go.
That's right.
And he's got to always know, as does Gabby with the Colada family,
Right.
that we're here to help them be the best version of
Yeah.
themselves. We brought you to this place.
Mm.
They're 25 years old. We've raised these kids
Yeah.
to get right here,
That's right.
to have this kind of experience. And we know there's more in them so they can have a better life than we've ever lived.
So good.
How foolish would it be for them not to want to look back over their shoulder and now say to us as parents, I value that.
Right.
Let me honor that.
That's right.
I've got an ear to listen.
Yeah.
I'm going to make my choices and my decision, but I'm not going to make it based on my peer group right now who
Yeah.
haven't experienced what you've experienced or helped me get to where I'm at today.
Right. Or with an attitude of don't tell me how to do it.
Don't tell me how to do
Yeah.
it.
Which is beautiful. They
And
don't
if
have that.
if I could give counsel to any young couple,
Yes.
don't have that
Yes.
attitude. I
Don't.
had to work through that attitude.
Sure.
I had to
Sure.
work through the thought. It's always there for
Yes.
every young man, every woman. You know, you're not going to talk to me like my dad. You're not going to talk to me like you're my mom.
You're not my dad.
You know, there's a tendency to think that way. Okay.
Sure.
But you want to, after you think it, just dismiss it.
That's right.
Don't act on it.
Because it's
because-
not honorable.
That's not honorable.
Mm-mm.
But if you can honor where you've come from, leaving and cleaving is going to be easy.
Yeah.
If not, it's like, I'm going to go ahead and give my daughter's hand in marriage
Mm.
to a young man, but I'm not giving her away.
Yeah.
They say, who gives this woman to be married to this man? I'm giving her hand in marriage, but I'm not giving her away.
Right.
I
Right.
will always have some level of connection with her. Now it's on him to now move forward and help her,
Right.
as it was with Christopher. I didn't give Christopher away,
No.
right?
Right.
Didn't do that. I gave him to Rochelle in marriage, if there's such a thing, but I'm always in my son's ear.
Yeah.
And because we work together, I will always be pouring into him about how to handle our business, which spills over sometimes into his life. Now, that's just a process. You're going to need to be able to do that and keep that relation openship and that honor open because it is going to be honorable for both the couples. But I've seen too many fathers give their daughters away in marriage only to have to take them back.
I know.
Marriage didn't work.
Right.
He mistreated her. And then the son comes back home. The daughter comes back home. So we're not saying in this sense that you give them away.
Right.
You just give their hands in marriage, and then you keep your distance as a parent to help them then leave and cleave because their future is going to be better if we let them do that. But that relationship and support will always be there. I hope this makes sense and I didn't confuse anybody.
You said open ship, but I'm like, that's a good word. Anyway.
That's what you got out of my ranting?
It wasn't ranting. That was good. That was good.
Does it sound like a father who's grieving?
You're not grieving. We are not grieving.
Have I changed
We're
my
excited
opinion
about
from
you.
the first Leaving Cleave podcast we did? Gabby
Our
thinks
emotions
so.
are all over the place. Maybe they shouldn't listen to this one.
But let's just not tell them that on the front end. Let them get to the end of it and they can make a decision for themselves.
You're welcome, everyone.
Wow. All right, Mary, we're going to get this done. This couple's going to be married.
And I hope we've helped some families who are either going through it or will go through it, that it's normal to be a little bit, have a personality disorder when you're going through marrying your kids off because it's harder than it looks.
Okay, so
but it's beautiful.
Somebody came up to you. Let's close with this. Somebody came up to you and said, okay, no more blessings for you guys.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it. No more blessings for the Alessis.
Because just the good things have been happening in our lives.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing is there's more blessings coming.
There's more blessings coming my way.
And if you're part of our family business, then you'll hear about those blessings real soon. If not, then hey, we got something new to tell you in the next episode somewhere down the road.
That's right. Good
All right.
things.
We good? We done?
We're done.
I think it's been fun. Our first episode of season 8. We're out here making it happen. And by the time you hear this, there'll be a Mr. and Mrs. Kaladiud.
That's right.
Christian.
And Gabrielle.
3 Chris's in the family. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for this episode of The Family Business with the Alessis. Take care.
Thanks so much for joining The Family Business today. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to follow or subscribe, share it with a friend, and leave us a review. We appreciate your support and can't wait to have you join us next time, because family is everybody's business.